This is breaking news, folks. The court just shook up New Jersey assault weapon ban. That's what we're going to talk about today in this video, so let's get started. This is massive breaking news out of the federal courts. This could change everything for New Jersey gun owners. A federal appeals court just made a move on the so-called assault weapon and magazine bans that nobody saw coming. If you've seen my past videos on New Jersey's assault weapon restrictions, you know how serious this fight has been, and today's news could be the biggest step yet toward protecting your rights. I'm Steve from Martell Training Group, retired New Jersey State Trooper, firearms instructor. Not long ago, I explained how New Jersey politicians tried to carve out ridiculous exceptions, like saying only Colt-branded AR-15s were protected by the Second Amendment, but not any others in the long list of restricted rifles. That's the kind of confusion and legal maneuvering we've seen again and again in New Jersey. I also warned in my video, 5 Legal Traps New Jersey Gun Owners Fall Into, that even if you think you're following the law, New Jersey can twist things in ways that put you at risk. Well, this case proves my point, because what's at stake is whether the most common rifle in America is even legal in New Jersey. Here's where things get interesting. A 3-judge panel in the Third Circuit was ready to rule against the Second Amendment. And frankly, that panel was stacked. There was no way we were going to win. But before their anti-gun decision even hit the public, the full Third Circuit stepped in. On their own, no one even asked. They ordered the entire court, every active judge, to rehear the case en banc. That almost never happens, and when it does, it's usually because the court knows the panel got it wrong. Now, this all comes out of the Cheeseman case, along with challenges brought by the Association of New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Clubs, Firearms Policy Coalition, and others. These lawsuits argue that New Jersey's ban on so-called assault weapons and standard capacity magazine violates the Second Amendment. Cheeseman himself is a New Jersey resident and gun owner who's been at the front lines of these fights for years, and his case is now tied into this massive en banc review. In other words, this isn't some abstract academic lawsuit. This is being pushed forward by everyday New Jersey citizens standing up for their rights. This move by the Third Circuit tells us something important. Even federal judges are starting to see that New Jersey's bans are out of step with the Constitution. Think about it. AR-15s are the most commonly owned rifle in the country. Millions of law-abiding Americans use them for home defense, sport, and training. If those aren't protected arms, then what is? And here's where things could explode into something national. If the Third Circuit rules that AR-15s and standard capacity magazines are protected arms, it creates a direct conflict with other federal courts like the Ninth Circuit and the Seventh Circuit, which have said the opposite. That's called a circuit split. And when that happens, the Supreme Court almost always has to step in. Remember Justice Kavanaugh's remarks. He said he expects the court to take an AR-15 case soon. Well, this could be the one that forces their hand. Think about the irony here. The same state that has worked harder than almost any other to strip away your rights, New Jersey, might be the reason the Supreme Court finally recognizes AR-15s and standard magazines as fully protected by the Second Amendment. And if that happens, New Jersey's own laws could be the first to fall. As a retired trooper, I've seen firsthand how criminals ignore every gun law on the books. These bans don't stop them, they just handicap responsible citizens. I remember responding to calls where the bad guy had a gun and the homeowner either had no gun or was very restricted because they actually followed the law. And for those of you carrying under New Jersey concealed carry permit system, these court battles affect you too. The state is trying to make it impossible, restricting places you can carry, ammo you can use, and the very tools you rely on. If AR-15s and magazines are recognized as protected arms, it strengthens the entire foundation of your right to carry responsibly. Even if this case goes our way in the Third Circuit, expect appeals, delays, and political pushback. But make no mistake, the momentum is building, and it's not on the side of bans anymore. This is history in the making, folks, and I'll be tracking every development. If you haven't seen my earlier videos on New Jersey's assault weapon ban or my breakdown of the concealed carry traps, go watch those next. I'll link them in the description below. And if you want to be truly prepared, grab a copy of my book, Defend Confidently, or check out my online course at shopmtgsafety.com. I'll put links to those both in the description for more information. These are good resources, folks, because the courts may take years to decide, but your safety decisions are made every single day. Stay safe, stay aware, and stay free.